Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is April 29th, 2 days to Stichmaynia, and I'm coming to you with my Flosstube number 14. Gosh, so much to talk about today. I started writing a list. I thought that I didn't have a lot, and then I realized as I wrote stuff out, I have a lot. So this could be one of my longer videos. Get yourself something to sip on and a chair so we can just talk about stitching stuff together. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is shout outs. I've been watching lots of Flosstubers. In fact, I took notes and I put the note in a safe spot. So I'm not quite sure where it is, and I might have to postpone a few of my shout outs until next time. But the first one is to Cheryl McKinney. Now Cheryl is from West Virginia, and she's a coal miner's daughter and granddaughter. She lives in her grandparents' house. She inherited it, and when she stitches, she sits in her grandma's parlor. So she's a great storyteller, and I enjoyed listening to her videos, so check her out. I'll link her below in the box. The second one is Susie Reno. Now Susie is not new. I mean, she's a partner designer with Teresa Kitten Stitcher on Raised Rift Designs. They're not designing together anymore, but but Susie just cracks me up. So I watched her last video today, and she was dabbing. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you want to watch that? So check Susie's videos out. She's very diverse in her talents, and she's a lot of fun to watch. And then I watched Christine Stitch All the Things. She showed us a kind of a comparison between Lowry stands. I don't have any the floor stands, but she has a Lowry and she has a Case Creation, and they're very similar, but she compares the two so you can make a decision, maybe a little more informed decision on if you're thinking about buying one of those two stands. And then the last one is my friend Jan Hicks. Now Jan had a recent finish, and it was this Wish Upon a Star pattern, straight out of 80 something, late 80s. She stitched it and she passed the stash. So thanks Jan. She changed a lot of these colors, modernized it, and that's what attracted me to this pattern. It is a quilter's pattern. I don't know, it's such a small picture. If I come up real close, I'm not sure if yeah, you can see it, but she picked brighter colors, and she does something that I really like, which is adding black to a pattern. Black grounds it in any design. If you put a little bit of black, it grounds a room. It gives it some depth. It's that contrast thing. So thank you to Jan. All right, I'm kind of shooting in a different position today because if I shoot the other way, it just blows out the picture because it's too bright today. So the next thing is what I'm all into. And so here's a secret little obsession that I started. There's a YouTube channel called My Little Bakery. And what drew me to that particular channel is I was watching, I don't think it came up on my feed, like, hey, look at this video. And this gal makes cookies that look like they've been cross-stitched. And so I was like, well, how does she do that? So of course I started falling down the rabbit hole, and I watched one, two, she has a ton of videos out there. I started watching them and I was mesmerized by it. And I'm a painter. You guys probably know that I paint, and she paints cookies. So she clearly has a lot of talent. It's a very interesting channel to watch. So check out My Little Bakery on YouTube. What else am I all into? I'm all into movies that have 80s references. So my youngest son and my husband and I went and saw Ready Player One last weekend. I know several people have mentioned that they've read the book, they love the book, but the soundtrack and the references are fantastic. So if you like, say, Guardians of the Galaxy, the soundtrack for that, every song they play, I'm like, oh, it takes me back to a time when, I was cruising down Main Street with my friends, or I was, out with my family doing something. So I just really recommend that movie. It's very family friendly too. And my son and I are going to see Avengers tonight. He went last night with his friends, but I still drag him to movies with me. he's tolerant. He's pretty good. Ready Player One is a great show, though, and we're going to see Infinity War tonight. So something else I'm into is berries. We have a very good climate for growing all sorts of berries. Washington on the west side of the mountains is a rainforest, basically. The berries don't get huge like California berries, but they are so packed with flavor. And blackberries grow wild here. So I have a friend who lives in Nebraska, and he was trying to grow blackberries. I'm like, are you kidding me? They're like dandelions. You can't get them. Here we're always digging them out and spraying them and trying to kill them. There he's trying to grow them. So I do have a berry garden, and we have raspberries planted and some blueberry bushes. There's marionberries, and if you've never had marionberries, they are like the size of your thumb. They're huge, and they're the juiciest berry I've ever had. Packed full of flavor, delicious. So I'm all into berries, and we have a berry garden. We built a big fence around it because the deer come through, and they like berries too. Oh, we have strawberries too. That'll be in there. So, well, we've been doing some cleanup there, putting sawdust around the blueberries. So, oh, Teresa, here's the deal. Teresa Kitten Stitcher. We have a portable sawmill, and my husband has felled some trees on our property and milled them to rebuild our back deck this spring. So if you need sawdust, let me know. Next time he's planing, I'll catch some, dry it, and I'll send you a box of sawdust. So you don't have to go and beg for it at the hardware store or the Home Depot or wherever. Just give me a shout out and I'll send you some. The last thing I'm all into is thinking back, and this, I think of Marlene Stitching by the Lake a little bit on this. So remembering when. I remember, and this is very much in keeping with Melanie from Yarns and Things. Just she taught kids how to cross stitch at I think it was something to do with the school. Anyway, I remember when I was in, say, late elementary school, maybe 5th grade, 6th grade, we had a week where we had breakout sessions, and it may not have been all day, but there was at least a couple hours during the day where you would go to a room and you would learn how to do something that was sort of artsy. I remember going in, I think we did like calligraphy in one room, we did, but the one that really caught my attention was beading. And we made these earrings, like chandelier earrings, beading, and they gave us beading needles, beads, and like nylon thread. And they taught us how to make these earrings. And I was, like, I didn't want to leave that room. I was completely mesmerized. And I would take them down, and I'd take them apart and redo them, and take them apart and redo them. And sometimes, and I think I got some more beads somehow, but I kept making these earrings over and over and over again. And I sort of think about, if I had never done that, would I have ever landed in cross stitch or maybe some of the other artsy type classes that I took in high school? So I'm really grateful for that experience. It really helped shape me and give me some exposure to some different things besides normal school subjects. So that's what I'm on to. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about, and you know what? I'm kind of kneeling on a chair, so I'm going to get down because my knees are killing me, because I'm 50, you know. Ugh. I was just trying to get a little bit closer. There we go. All right, so finished objects. Let me talk a little bit about FOs. Hold, please. I got my side table, which is my ironing board. You gotta love that. Okay, so the first one is Nathan Hale from Early Americans. And you know what? Hopefully, I'll put it on the back side of this mirror pattern. Yeah. You're not going to get great color on this. Okay, so you see how awesome that red is. But Nathan Hale, Early Americans, I had planned to do one a month, and I already had done Molly Pitcher. Molly Pitcher was done before. Now she has a boyfriend, Nathan Hale. And I think I was going to do Martha Washington, but quite frankly, this month I got pulled in a project at work and it completely blew up my schedule. So I'm not going to get done what I wanted this month, but that's okay. Those are evolving ideas, as Vonna would say. But I do think what I'm going to try to do, and we'll see, is Vonna had designed a pattern that went all the way around. If you stitched them all together, all 9 patterns, there was like bunting on the top and stars on the side. And I'm going to try and do that in miniature here. I am going to make these into pillows. And this is stitched on vintage pearl barley, which is an amazing fabric. It has a lot of, it's very, how do I explain this? It's almost dirty looking, but it's awesome. Let's see if there's something I can, maybe this will show it a little bit better. Yeah. Well, anyway, dirty fabric. But I am going to try that to miniaturize that border that Vonna put on there and then make the pillows, and we'll see. We'll see how many I get done. I might try and fully finish some of these before 4th of July so I can put them out this year, but they won't all get done, and that's all right. All right, so that one is Nathan Hale. I'm going to put stuff over to the side here so I don't. There we go. So don't get mixed up. The second one is a gift for a friend, and it's Lizzie Kate's Love. And these are, I used the thread that came with it, but it's the threads, I used the fabric that came with it, but the threads are different. I pulled them from my stash, and they're pretty close. I mean, they may not be perfectly exactly the same, but that's okay. And I stitched this in one day. But I really love just the colors in it. And Lizzie Kate is so simple, yet so pretty. I was not as much of a Lizzie Kate fan until maybe, I don't know, the last 6 months. And I realized that I just pick big projects. Like I stitch gargantuan projects, and sometimes it feels like nothing gets done. But when I stitch something like this, I just see, oh yeah, you can get something done in a day. So next year, I think I'm going to integrate more smalls into my plans for the year, because this year, I think I went a little crazy when I started planning. But this one just turned out really pretty. I like it. That's Lizzie Kate's Love. And the next one is a Sheepish Designs Betsy 108th Exemplary. Now look at that. Doesn't that just say patriotic? I am a patriotic person, and I love it when people say I believe it, right? Or I'm proud to be an American, and it just makes me feel good. So I started it. Gosh, I started it, and then I stitched for a while, and then like I said, I got hijacked my schedule, and then I got back to it. And I'm stitching this with Stitcherella 27, which is Natasha, and oh, who's the other person? Shoot, there's several people stitching it, but is it Brenda Holzman? I'm so sorry, I'm going to forget. But I stitched it and I finished it. And we are going to finish these into drums. This is so much fun to stitch. Now I was off a little bit, and I was too far committed to the project to go back and rip anything out. So you won't know where it is, but I was definitely off a little bit, and I had to fudge it. Well, that's okay. It worked out. So that was that one. And that's it for FOs. Now to whips. Okay. Whips, whips, whips. Peaceful Garden, Moira Blackburn. I started working on this the end of last month again, and I'm telling you, I just love this one. The colors are fantastic. And I feel like I'm probably gonna have to, oh no, look at that. Yeah. I did quite a bit of this over here. And since the last time you saw it, I think some of the alphabet. I don't know if I can maybe get back here, and I need to get some of that lighting that Michelle Farmgirl Stitcher got in her video, so I can show you guys the colors a little bit better. But this is the pattern calls for DMCs, and I converted some overdyes on it. All of them are overdyes, and they're just like, this one is Rainforest, Rain Shower. The blue is Rain Shower. The green is, gosh, I can't remember. Green Pasture, I think. They're sampler, General Arts. But this one, I think I could stitch on that one until it was done. I'd be perfectly satisfied. Now, the last one I worked on, I really thought I didn't work on anything this month. I look back, I'm like, I didn't get anything done, but I did. I got some done. Just recently I picked up Sabrina again. This is where we are with her. Remember, this is from my niece for a wedding gift. And what I worked on since last time you saw was some of this and some of this. So working on her dress. I did demo the beads because I converted and I don't like what I ended up with. So I bought a whole lot of Mill Hill beads that I'm probably going to have to do something different with. So stay tuned for that. Sometimes you do a conversion and it doesn't always work the first time. It's a risk, but that's okay. Those are my whips. Plans. So I have, next weekend I'm going to the Midwest Cross Stitching Retreat, and we're flying out Thursday and flying back Sunday. Lori, textilist, was able to get in, so she's going too. We're sharing a room, and I can't wait to meet all of the fun people at that retreat. I'm very much looking forward to it. I need to get some things for Stichmaynia, so for sure I'll be going to Stitchville to buy some threads. I think I'm pretty good on fabric, maybe one piece of fabric I need to get, but I've been saving my pennies to go to Stitchville, so I'm excited for that. 2 weeks later, we have Mother's Day weekend, and then we have the following weekend is the New Jersey Flosstube retreat. I'm going to that too. My husband, he's an angel. He lets me do what I want a lot of times, and he's pretty amazing. But that is going to be awesome. I can't wait to meet all the people there. Allie from Allie's Stitching Studio is going to be there. She's already like, you're going to sit at my table, aren't you? And I said, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to sit at your table. And then Ingeborg is coming. The girls from Canada, Stitching Social, I think. Yep, they're coming. Oh, there's just so many people that are going to be there. I can't wait to meet everybody. So that is in the near future. And I don't know how I'm going to get everything ready. Like, there's just not enough time in the day. Get everything ready before I go to the first retreat. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about Stichmaynia. Stichmaynia. Oh, please, just a minute. I got stuff everywhere here. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do Stichmaynia this year, just simply because just to sit down and prepare everything, I was trying to stay true to my plans for this year, and then so I'm integrating some of my plans into Stichmaynia, and that's the only reason why I'm going to do it. I would love to do it. I'm just too busy right now, but I am going to start, and then I don't know if I would consider it cheating, but I am going to use one of my plans, which is this cloth. This is I'm going to make this a tablecloth, right? Or it is a tablecloth, I should say. This is called Alice cloth. And it sort of looks like a blanket, if you would. But I'm going to use it as a tablecloth. And at every intersection where there's a white square, and there are 20 of them, in here I'm going to stitch a little motif. And I'm going to pull them from, I showed this in a previous video, this book. So this is La Magie de Noël. Now, I'm not French. And my friend Patty McReynolds from Instagram, Patty, hey, Patty, she can say it, and I butcher it every time. But the gal who designs is Veronique and Ginger. Again, that could be made up. So this book is amazing. Her patterns are amazing. And I want to, my plan is to fill those 20 white squares with motifs from this particular book. And I haven't chosen them yet. So that's kind of the fun of this, is that each day when I have a new start, I think I'm just going to go in here and pick and make sure that it fits. But like this could be one square. This could be another square. I might pick something smaller. There are days, like little postage stamps in this book that have the days of the month, 1 through 25. Look at this one, that there. But to get it to fit, I might have to modify some of these, or I may have to pick smaller ones. I just am not quite sure what's going to fit yet. Look at that. Oh my goodness. How adorable is that? So this is going to be 20 first starts. I'm going to count all 20 of them because that's the way I roll. And so that's my first project. These are all DMC, stitched in DMC, and probably I'll start with these simply because until I get to an LNS to make sure that I have the threads for my other projects, I'm going to need to start with something that I already can get access to threads right away. Plus I love these. I can't wait to start stitching these. So that is these are 20 days of the Stichmaynia. Okay. So the next one, and I don't know what order I'm going to stitch them in. Like seriously, I'm just going to be lucky to get to the retreat next weekend with clothes packed and projects. Anyway, so the next one is Susanna Milne, 1843. Hands Across the Sea. I love yellow roses. One of my favorite things. And this is just such an adorable pattern. The verse says, Father God, who sees in me only sin and misery, turn to thy anointed one, look on thy beloved Son, him and the sinner see, look through Jesus' wounds on me. I will probably change that. Not that that's not a delightful thing that was scripted by this 10-year-old. I mean, my goodness, a 10-year-old created this beautiful, beautiful project. But I might put something, it could be the Lord's Prayer. It might be a few lines from Amazing Grace. It'll probably be something biblical, but it probably won't be that. And this, what I'm stitching it on is Powder Rose, Newcastle Linen 40 count. And this is gorgeous. It's light pink. And so all of the motifs should pop beautifully off of this particular fabric. I would say that's probably close to like maybe DMC 224, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit darker than that. Gorgeous. All right, so the next one is, oops, I guess I didn't bring all these in. Lizzie Kate, Things Unseen. I picked this up, you know, from my LNS when things were flying off the shelf and Lizzie Kate was announced that they were going to be done. And I'm going to stitch that on, this is 36 count Legacy. Very, very pretty fabric. And this should look really lovely against that. So I'm really, and I don't have the threads for that, so I'm gonna have to either pick from my stash or shop at Stitchville or the place in New Jersey. I can't remember the name of that one. Needle, I don't remember. All right, the next one is Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina. So I have some antique white cashel that I was going to stitch it on. I'm pretty sure it's 28 count, but I had bought this little frame to put it in, and this frame, isn't that not perfect? But I'm going to have to buy 36 count. That should fit just perfectly with 36 count. So I'm going to have to shop for a little bit of fabric when I'm out and about at the retreats. So that one's on deck after Things Unseen. The next one is Praiseworthy Stitches Sunflower Bee Garden Sampler. Look at this. I love this. And now I like bees, but I'm not dying for the bees, but I love bees. And this says, how doth the busy little bee improve each shining hour and gather honey all the day from every opening flower. And this, but you see they have it on like a, I don't know, sort of a medium brown color. Maybe it's just the picture, but I chose, this is a handed by Stephanie Kaleidoscope. It's a 32 count. Jobeling, I'm sure it's Jobeling because that's what I was stitching for a long time. Yep, Jobeling. Now you can see the modeling and the coloration on this, but really in real life, it is very, very subtle. But it is so pretty. Let me see if I do this in half, if you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better. And so I can't wait to start this. Looking forward to it. And this one calls for either DMC or overdyes. Probably I'll do overdyes on it. Probably. We'll see. Oi, getting down there to the end. So the last one I have on deck for Stichmaynia is the Leeds House Sampler. And I had picked up these threads that are called for. And all of these will stitch this whole sampler. Now, isn't that beautiful? I'm telling you, like the sampler, I have sampleritis, a terrible case of sampleritis. I want to stitch them all. You want an alphabet on there? Sure, I'll stitch it. So this says, may the raindrops fall lightly on your brow. May the soft winds freshen your spirit. May the sunshine brighten your heart. May the burdens of the day rest lightly upon you. And may God enfold you in the mantle of his love. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to stitch this on, this is Lakeside Linens Vintage Bisque 40 count. So the color of this fabric is hard to describe. It looks very white here. It's not. It's, I would say it's like 722 DMC is the base. And it has a very light, very, very faint tinge of maybe green. Oh gosh, I can't get it for you guys. But you sort of see the coloration and modeling there. It is so beautiful. I might buy more of this because I have a few samplers that this would look good on. And I'm a huge fan of Lakeside Linens. This is a great sampler fabric. It's just not too much, and but there's enough that it doesn't look stark white, because it's not stark white. It looks like a porcelain doll's face, except it has just a little tiny hint of green on it. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. All right. That's it for Stichmaynia, and truly, I threw that together today because I just haven't had time. Just haven't had time. But I have had time to do some other things. Oh, for example, I did cut out some project bags. I think I showed you guys the fabric last time. Well, I've cut it out. I just have not yet stitched it together, sewn them together. But you just do love the fabrics, right? Awesome stuff. So that, I have a week off in May when I come back from the Flosstube retreat in New Jersey. That following week I have off, and then it's Memorial Weekend, and we go on an annual family dirt bike trip with some other people we know. So I'll probably be doing some yard work and gardening, and then my plan is to just really focus on doing some project work around my craft room, getting some things done. Quite a bit of sewing on deck and finishing as well. All right, so let's talk about 2,000 subscribers. Actually, closer to 2,300 subscribers now. It's like we blew past that. All I had to say was, well, there's like, 2,000 subscribers, and guess what? Boom. It just, I don't know what happened, but it bloomed up. So here's what I have for you for the winner of this. So first of all, I will probably draw the winner after the New Jersey retreat. So that is, it's like the 17th, 18th. When I get back that week, I will draw the winner in my next video. And I don't know what day it's going to be, so I apologize if, you're waiting on pins and needles. I'll put it in the box below when I decide. But the first thing I'm going to, as part of this little package, is Brenda Gervais, Here a Peep, There a Peep. I like that pattern so much that I bought it twice. And I didn't even know that I bought it twice. And then I found this little box. So her box, I think it's 6 inches. If you buy it from Brenda Gervais. This one is a little over 3. And I think if you stitch this over 1, you can fit it on top of this little box. So I'm going to include this box with it. I couldn't find a 6-inch box, so I ended up with the 3-inch box. Hobby Lobby. I wanted to buy this pattern a long time ago. This pattern, before it was on sale, $60. On sale, $15. It is, look at that. I mean, come on. Look at those colors. And then look at this. All DMC. There's 14 count 8 in there, but that's all. Look at the palette. Oh my gosh. To die for. I'm going to put this in the giveaway, but I'm going to go out and see if I can get it for myself. I almost didn't put it in the giveaway, but then I decided better. And the last thing that goes in this giveaway is a project bag. Of course a project bag, but it's not done yet. And this is the color. This is the fabric that I've selected for it. I'm not quite sure what zipper color I'm going to put on it yet. I kind of looked at white, but I just haven't landed on one. And the inside is this fabric here. Very springish because, thank goodness spring finally arrived. So for the giveaway, which will include the pattern from Brenda Gervais, the little box, the Hobby Lobby kit, and the project bag, you need to be 18, and please don't say giveaway. Please be a subscriber and like my videos. And I will draw, again, it'll be probably about the 3rd week of the month, but I'm looking forward to seeing all your comments about the question that I want you to answer, which is, what is your favorite part of spring? We're getting there, you guys. All right, so I'm going to show you some haul, and then I had some requests for, could you show us some things in your craft room, and specifically thread and fabric storage, pattern storage, that type of stuff. So I will show you my haul, and then I'll cut away and insert just a tour of the stash and how it's organized. So first, let me talk a little bit about all the spring things that I couldn't quit buying. The first one is I saw this, I can't even tell you how many people I saw on Instagram stitching this. This is Scattered Seed Samplings. Tammy Black, I think, is the name of the designer. Spring Gathering. Adorable. Yep. The next one is, who is Nancy Turner? Thank goodness her name's on this, from Victoria Motto Threads. She designs patterns. So she has threads and fabric that she sells, that she dyes, but she also designs patterns. And I found this pattern, she sells through eBay, I think. So this is an almighty friend. I love the man that scorns to bend beneath affliction's blast, who trusts in an almighty friend for his reward at last. God is love. That is, I love this. Look at the little arbor with the roses down here. Isn't that, you can almost stitch that by itself if you wanted to. And that little church. Yep. And then Nancy's so sweet. She threw in a prim sage. So this green, that's like endive, right? So that goes with everything. That is, if you're a primitive stitcher, this is a staple. And to get a 20-yard skein, I was jumping for joy when I saw that. So, Nancy Turner. I picked up Heartstring Samplery. This one was new at market. Spring Flame Pincushion. Now this is an interesting thing. So I did buy the trim. Does that trim look the same to you? Not even close. So this is what pictures do, right? They change from what's really the real color. This is probably the closer to the real color than this bright blue. But we'll see. And if it isn't quite the same because it's overdyed, no big deal. I'll just pick a different trim. And Pineberry Lane. My girlfriends and I, there's 4 of us total, are going to Ireland and Scotland in September. In fact, we FaceTime for over 2 hours yesterday finishing our plans. And it's pretty stressful trying to make sure that you're going to be at the right place, that you have an accommodation that will work for everyone. And we're pretty easygoing, but we can't all sleep in one twin bed. So you have to know what you're reserving and where it is and kind of where you want to be. And we are flying from Scotland to Ireland after week 1. And so we got through that. It was, we're committed. So we're done with that. And now it's just sort of the fine touches. So that was good. But when I saw this, look at all of those. Those are awesome. I really love this one. These girls, though, they kind of look like they have mustaches. I'm not quite sure. I think those are supposed to be mouths, but they kind of look like mustaches. And this gal, smoking a pipe. Because why not? I couldn't order that fast enough. I love every single one of these. And I'm sort of just really becoming one who can't wait to have more smalls. I'm falling into the trap and down the well. And everything that is small that's put in a dough bowl or that is put in a tiered tray. Yeah, you guys, you tempted me. And yes, bought all the things. Lizzie Kate Spring. Look at that little bunny. Yeah, I'm not going to take this pattern out of the bag, but you know what it is. Super cute. And then Shepherd's Bush, Easter Notes. Look at that. Shepherd's Bush has beautiful stuff. I love their stuff. This is Steph. This is because she got this in some sort of a giveaway, I think. Somebody gave it to her. Easter Bonnet by Lizzie Kate. My Easter bonnet with flowers on it. How cute is that? And apparently, I think this must be a little chick under here because look at those. I think those are legs sticking out. Super cute. And then this is the Dying to Stitch Club, Colonial Gatherings Club, a Mount Vernon Christmas. This particular club is, they're all quarterly, but this one's going to be Christmas all year. And I want to say this one is Plum Street and who's the other designer on that one? Is it Scarlet House, maybe? I can't remember. Oh, jeez. I didn't bring anything to sip on before I came in. This is a good spot to go ahead and just, I'm going to add a video at the end here. I think I'm just going to wrap this up, and I'll attach a quick video showing the stash storage. And if you don't want to watch that, then this is a good chance for you to move on by. And so the next time we talk will be after the next 2 retreats, sometime in May probably. I was kind of hoping I could get to a video every 2 weeks, but, and then I'm going to miss the Acorns and Threads meetings, our monthly meetup. We're going to miss the one in May because of the retreat, the one in June because of my youngest son's graduation, and the one in July because of a family reunion. So I won't even see my stitching peeps until August probably. All right, so have a great month. If I don't talk with you through Instagram or on Facebook in the stitching groups, just make it a great day. Stay tuned for the following clip if you'd like to stay. Otherwise, we'll talk to you all later. Thanks. Bye. Okay, so we are over by where a lot of my stash is for cross stitch, and I just thought I'd show you some organization. This is where my overdyed threads live, not including the silks. These are all the cottons, and this was a recent idea from an Instagrammer who said her husband put up a wooden like a towel rack, I think. This is more like a little quilt hanger that I found in my craft room that I hadn't put up yet. But it's, the Instagrammer is, I think her name is CMDEBI, so CM Debbie. But great idea. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's super easy. You know, if I need something, I can just go grab something off of a ring. This comes up, you can take the rings off. So that is where all of my overdrieds live. And quite frankly, this is why I often pull from stash. If I don't have what I need, I will buy it, but I usually try to substitute first, because why not? I recently put these bins, right? These are my cross stitch bins. I have another bookshelf that has some patterns, mostly books in them. But this is where I put them, and I'm not saying that this is the perfect or the best way to organize, but this is how I organize. This first bin is all Blackbird designs because I love them. And I have a lot. I have some quilt books in here too. But there are just, I love them. Sometimes I'll just pull this bin off and start looking through the patterns and see what's in here. And I think next year may be a year of Blackbird designs. I'm going to do Anniversaries of the Heart for sure, and maybe the Garden series too. So I did just make some scrapbook paper, just wrote on there with Sharpie. I have multiples that have, or I have designers where I have multiple patterns. What I might do is redo this and laminate those just so that they don't get all bent up. And I have more categories. So even though I have miscellaneous, I have like Hands Across the Sea designs in here, and some samplers. Mine are not topically organized. I think Steph had a conversation about this, Steph and Pam, recently. And, you know, do you do it by designer or by, maybe it was Chelsea and Priscilla that were talking about that. Do you do it by designer or do you do it by season? And I find it's easier to do it by designer. Everyone's different. This is And They Send. I bought it off of eBay. It didn't come, I don't know if it's in a, yeah, I guess it is in a folder. But the lady who sold it to me sent me a picture of it and a picture of her finished, hold on, of her finished project. Now, how cool is that? So I think when I finish it and I pass along the pattern, that I will include a picture of my finished project with it. So these are the bigger, I put the bigger patterns, the except for this one. This is all Blackbird designs. But these are all of the 8.5 by 11 size. And these over here are all of the stand-up half-page ones. And again, I just put it by designer. Oh yeah, the cats have been up here chewing on this. Plum Street. You can see Plum Street. I might like Plum Street a little bit. Heartstring. Same thing. I love heartstrings. Heartstring samplery. Little House and Cottage Needles. Country Cottage. Brenda Gervais. Yeah, I love her stuff. Stacy Nash. Hers too. And then this is sort of the catch-all basket with, I've got some Lizzie Kates. Oh, those are Country Cottage. I got Lizzie Kates in here too. Just some kits and packages, and these aren't all cross stitch, but a lot of them are. All right. Down here's just scrapbooking stuff. Got lots of scrapbooking things. All right, so I'll take you over to look at, oh, here's just some project bags and my son's quilt that I haven't done yet that I need to. And this is all of the Crabapple Hill designs. I've been to a couple of her retreats and love her stuff. Hers is all, maybe not this one. This is a good example, but she does embroidery, and you can see that the flowers in this are colored in because she does a method where you actually color the fabric with crayons before you stitch. Here's another one. This is adorable. Look at that. So Lori Textiles and I, we bought some of these together. Too many things, too little time. Okay. I'm going to move over real quick to where my fabric is. So this is where I keep my cross stitch, most of my cross stitch fabric. Now I have another drawer too, where I have some fabric, but this is all my over dyed fabric. And quite a bit of this is what happens when you join Fabric of the Month, right? So I have quite a few hand dyed by Stephanie, and Under the Sea Fabrics, and Dixie Samplers. So these in the front, a lot of those are Dixie Samplers. And there's also, what is her name? Joanna Whirl from Fantasy Dyed Fabrics. She dyes one-of-a-kinds and sells them on Etsy. She has a page. Some of the stuff came from Stash and Low, but most of it was through the Fabric of the Month. And there's kind of some of them are opals, right? There's some opalescent ones in here. A lot of them are not. This is almost all 32 count. I had quite a few 28 counts, but I sold them to my sister. She prefers that, so it worked out. Then if you go over here, I have a drawer with a lot of my Lakeside linens and maybe R&R reproductions too. So I probably should find a different storage solution for this, but right now that's where they live. All right, that's it for my floss and stash. Have a good one. Thanks.